We're joined on the Roush Honda pregame show with the head football coach of the Marietta Pioneers, second-year head coach Andy Waddle. Coach, thanks for joining us here on the program. Tough loss to Denison to open up the season. When you walked away from that game, what was the biggest need for improvement you saw on your team?
Well, I think, like a lot of coaches in opening weeks, you saw too many mistakes, out there on the football field. I don't know that, our problems were physical as much as what they were, mental. We had a number of penalties. I think at the end of the game, we were the most penalized team, or tied for the most penalized team in the country in Division III, and you're not going to win a lot of football games doing that. I think that we, had a tendency to get behind the sticks because of that, and so we were on longer yardage situations, and that makes it tough to be successful. And you add on that, we gave up a few big plays and turned the ball over. So lots to improve on. Luckily, we had an extra week, and hopefully when we get back out on the field, we'll be better in all those areas.
You return senior quarterback Lucas Havens this year. Otterbein is very familiar with him. He played against the Cardinals last year. What was your grade of your senior quarterback's performance in week one?
Lucas, I think he had 2 interceptions and, completed the ball for less than 50%. So, just on that, you would be, somewhat disappointed. We put Lucas in tough situations, where I think most coaches are going to say, you're not going to be successful at the same rate that you need to be. And that's, really truly long yardage situations, 1st and 20s, 2nd and 15s, 3rd and 15s. And those are just tough situations to be successful. And we were in too many of those. And we also were playing from behind. So, we put Lucas in some tough situations. I think, early in the game, he did some really nice things for us. I think that we've got to find ways for him to be successful. Our receivers got to have, more sure hands, and we've got to be able to find ways for him to, get the ball out of his hand a little quicker.
Individually, the biggest bright spot has to be running back Nick ONeill, Coach. He had almost 1,000 yards rushing the ball last year, 154 in the season opener. You had to be pleased that he picked up right where he left off.
Yeah, shoot, Nick's a good football player. I think that everybody that watches us is going to see that Nick's a really good player, and he's going to cause people problems because of his size and his ability. And we were excited to see, him have some of the success that he had. Of course, he carried the ball, 29 times. So, you carry the ball that many times, you're probably having some level of success, and because you keep giving it back to him again. And Nick's a good player. I thought our O-line did a good job of creating some seams, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to build on Nick's success.
Like most OAC teams, you play your non-conference game, then you have a bye week, and then you play 9 straight conference games. Are you a fan of the way the OAC has the bye week so early, or would you prefer it later in the season?
Hey, listen, we line up and play the schedule. I got lots of things to worry about. I don't know. Sure, I think there's advantages to having it, later in the schedule. There's advantage to having it early in the schedule. You have a young football team and a bunch of first-year starters. It's nice to have that extra week to kind of clean some things up. You're a veteran football team, or a football team that you got a physical schedule in front of you. Sometimes it's nice to have that bye week a little later, but that's not my biggest concern right now. I need to eliminate our penalties and our big plays that we've given up on defense.
Lastly, Coach, the Otterbein Cardinals not coming off their most impressive performance either. You've gotten 2 weeks to scout Otterbein now. What do you notice that the Cardinals do well that could give the Pioneers trouble on Saturday?
Well, I think they're really athletic. Both sides of the ball. You definitely see just a tremendous amount of skill on the field, for Otterbein offensively. I think that they've got a really nice wide receiver group. I think that their running backs, are fast. And anytime you go against a fast back like that, gosh, you're real scary because, they can go the distance on you at any point in time. I think defensively, you see a team that really runs around well. They play extremely hard and with a lot of energy, and they're flying around. And hey, don't kid yourself. That Buff State team, had some athletes, and I don't think that Otterbein maybe was real happy with all their performances. They turned the ball over as well. They had some penalties as well. They had a bunch of things not go their way against a really good football team, and they're going to struggle to be successful that way. And so I'm sure that they're going to correct some of those mistakes, and I expect a really athletic team to come out with a very veteran offensive line.
Coach Waddle, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the rest of the Pioneers the rest of the season. Thank you.
No problem.